Hi, Clay here. This is an update on the bucket system. I got the troughs in, haven't got them hooked up yet, and the buckets that are on there are only to hold the weight down so that if the wind blows it doesn't knock anything around till I get them replaced. I haven't hooked up the water yet, but I have hooked up the float valves in the tanks. I got to run from the water tank down around the back to each and every one of these with the hoses. These buckets are, some of the buckets were down near the greenhouse. If you remember all the buckets laying around here, I cleaned up that mess and I brought them up here. These are going to be replaced as I fill the buckets with the tomatoes in that. These are ones that got last year's dirt in it. I still got to dump them out and take the root systems out of it, reuse some of the soil with some new soil and fertilizer. But these are just to hold the troughs down so they don't move until I get the tomato buckets and the other buckets up here to work with. But as you can see, the bucket's off the ground back in the back about a foot, and they're off the ground probably 16 inches or so just to level them up. So I wanted to give you a little update before I start filling buckets with tomatoes and that. And as I fill a bucket with tomatoes, I can take one of these right off in here. Now as you can see, the trough, and underneath the bucket there is the net cup. And the net cup sets right down inside the trough. So that's how it works. You fill the net cup with some wet potting soil, like you make a mud, pack it into the net cup in the bottom, fill your bucket with soil, plant your tomato in the bucket. Set them in the trough, fill the trough with water until we start getting some rain, which we were supposed to get a little bit today, but I don't think it's going to. I've got the water tank hooked to the eaves, and if we get some strong rains it'll fill that tank up, but in the meantime we're probably going to have to fill the trough with some other water in the meantime, but that's fine. So this is a little update. Like I said, don't think these are the buckets I'm using. These all have net cups in them, but these were some of the ones that I had the cherry tomatoes in that alongside the greenhouse last season. And these are just to hold the troughs in place with a little bit of weight. And as you can see, when we get ready to, these buckets are up to my waist, so when I go to pick the tomatoes in that, I'm going to be picking tomatoes at chest high, which would be nice. And I don't have to worry about rabbits coming and chewing off the tomatoes. I don't have to worry about tomato worms and cutworms or any of the other stuff that you have to deal with when you have a garden in the ground. When I have to weed, I just walk up to the bucket. And I just pull the weeds out of them. Which these weeds won't be in here anyways, because I'm going to take this soil out of here. But it's so much easier to weed a garden when all you have to do is walk up to it. You don't have to get down on your knees. If you're getting up there in age like I am and you don't have this system, there's no rototilling. You use a wheelbarrow and mix your soil, fill your buckets. Everything's done standing up. And if you get tired, there's always some chairs. Okay, this is Clay from Poebel's Backyard Farm, and now I'm going to start working on some bucket system with some actual tomatoes in it and replace these as I'm going. Alright, have a good day and God bless. Bye-bye.